All right, welcome back to the Run.down post-game show here on the Strickland YouTube channel. And if you are listening to this the day after, the Strickland Podcast Network, Knicks win in a bounce-back effort versus the Detroit Pistons on Kith Night and on Veterans Day, 121-112, led by R.J. Barrett and Jalen Brunson. Really two strong performances from those two. It was great to see them really bounce back, especially after the Brooklyn game. They both heavily struggled in that game. So tonight to see them bounce back was really well. I thought RJ looked really great in terms of like getting to the basket tonight. He really had his way in the paint, which is something that you really like to see. But yeah, I mean, really strong game from those two. Um, Off the bench quickly. He's gotten some criticism as of late. He was able to find his way in the second half. But yeah, let's. How did we feel about tonight's game?
This is my public apology. Um, Rowan Alexander Barrett Jr., also known as RJ Barrett, number 9 guy, whatever you want to call him. I was wrong. Um, I formally apologize for any and all slanderous tweets, and as a humble man and Knicks fan, you are a good player.
Only took 4 years, folks. Only took 4 years, but we're here, guys. We are here.
You can clip that. Do whatever you want with it. I can admit that now. RJ Barrett. I can say it again. RJ Barrett is a good player who has a relatively good star ceiling, especially if he's going to finish the way he's been finishing this year.
35-5. 10 for 17 from the field. A lot of great stuff in terms, like I mentioned before, finishing at the basket, tough finishes and one finishes. He displayed the whole package today. Pause. But yeah.
yo.
Oh my gosh.
All right, bro. All right.
But yeah, I mean, what else to say about RJ Barrett? He's been consistently putting up these efforts, minus the Brooklyn game and like probably like the first couple games of the season. But other than that, he's been pretty consistent in dropping 20 points per game. He's been up in it lately, and tonight was one of those nights where he really got a chance to. I liked his aggressiveness early on. I will say that, like, he made it a point to really get to the basket, and then he started hitting his threes, which is what you want to see. You want to see the inside out, not the outside in. Because I feel like a lot of his performances where he struggles, he tries to get it going from outside before he has it going, getting to the basket. And I feel like it works better if it's inversed, where he's going to the paint. That way, he can start hitting those threes, and then, it's just game over from there. But yeah.
Yeah, tonight he shot 6 of 8 within the restricted area and then 1 of 1 in the mid range. So, very great night for him in terms of shooting the basketball inside the arc. And the threes, he was able to hit threes as well. He was able to do his job with the threes. He just did everything right tonight. His defense was consistent. I felt like, again, his finishing was really strong. And I think he's still hovering around like mid 60s in terms of finishing, which is the number you ideally want him at. Also got to the line 8 times this game. So, again, getting that free throw rate up, being able to get to the line, play that bully ball. He just did everything right tonight, made all the right moves. Can't really complain.
Yeah. And there was this one take in the fourth quarter where he really used his body to get an and one on Isaiah Stewart. And I really thought like that's progress right there. Cause like he would like there are times where he would drive into the basket and that contact really bothers him, or he just wouldn't take as strong of a take. So for him to have these type of takes in his repertoire, and hopefully he can continue to consistently do that, I think it'll bode well for his future as well as the future of the team.
Yes, I
Um,
think the RJ that plays like this is the RJ that plays like this on a consistent basis, especially if Brunson, who we probably get into now, is playing like that as well. Like that's a very good 1-2 punch that can really lead this team for like the next decade ish. So I guess we can talk about Brunson now since that was a good segue.
yes. So Brunson, I thought tonight he really had it going, but like I thought, like as soon as the lead started to dissipate, I saw like he was like, all right, now it's time to like take control. He started realizing he had mismatches, which was something that RJ did well as well tonight, really well. Realizing that when you have a mismatch, take advantage of it. And Jalen Brunson, he had like Killian Hayes on him a couple of times, just backed him down into post, and hit some really nice fadeaway shots over him. Had this and one as well, which was really clutch. But yeah, this is what you want to see from him. You're hoping that it comes at a consistent rate and against higher opponents as well, because the couple of times that we've seen Jalen Brunson take over have been against the Charlotte Hornets and the Detroit Pistons. You kind of want to see if this effort will, not this effort, but like if this type of takeover ability can happen and will happen against higher opponents. We've seen him do stuff like this in the playoffs, so it is not too high of an ask, but we would like to see this more consistent from him. But yeah, I did like to see him take over in that fourth quarter, not just in scoring terms, but just like controlling the flow of the game as well, just making sure everyone got the ball where they needed to, not rushing possession, stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, this quarter and in the second quarter, sorry, the fourth quarter, he 11 points, 4-7 from the field, 2 assists, a steal. He did everything. Really, that second half, I feel like he did a lot of his damage in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
He had 16 in the second half, 5 and 9 from the field, and he just controlled the tempo of the game. He dictated a lot of the outcome in this game, and you cannot say enough about how he played well. I think the first half, I will say that he definitely did the whole like I'm going to take a backseat thing and wait for my spots, and I would like him to get started earlier. But if he's going to finish strong like that, then it's not as much of a problem. Granted, it's against worse competition, so I would like to see him do it quicker. But all in all, still a good night for him, still a positive night for him, and I think the thing I want to focus on the most is 8 free throws.
Yes.
8 free throws. He's getting to the line a lot. Just like off his last couple of games alone, he had 8 free throws tonight, 5 free throws against Brooklyn, 9 free throws against Philly last week Friday. So like he's getting to the line a lot. He's making his points count, and that's what you want to see. I feel like the team so far, the offense has been pretty solid, and I feel like a large part of that has been the fact that there's an emphasis on getting to the paint, and there's an emphasis on finishing in the paint, which is why the top 3 scorers on this team, 2 of which who have never really been good paint finishers on the Knicks, are shooting well above 50% from the 2-point line, or inside the arc rather. So I like the emphasis of getting to the paint. I like the emphasis of putting pressure on the paint and getting to the line as well. And when your mid three combines for 21 free throws, that's a good night.
Yes, it is. Getting to the last member of the mid three, which I did not mention in my intro. Number 30 finished with, let me see, it was like 21 points, 8
21, 8,
rebounds,
5 assists.
5 assists, 8 for 18 from the field. The one glaring thing that really sticks out is the 0 for 7 from 3. I felt like the defense was really really just welcoming him into that shot. Um, Again, this goes back to not the Memphis game. I'm watching Memphis on the TV. That's why it's in my head. But Minnesota. It goes back to the Minnesota game where he took all those threes and they were going in. I feel like ever since then, teams have been welcoming him into this 3-point shot because of that game. And he's been taking it a lot. But I felt other than that, I felt like he kind of he played pretty well within the flow of the offense. He didn't really try to hijack that many possessions, I think. Like to my knowledge, he played pretty well within his role. He was pretty quiet. The loudest thing were the missed threes because he took so many of them, 7 threes, and he missed all of them. So I would just say like focus more on getting to the paint. There were a couple of drives where not even a couple of drives, but there were a couple like plays where Jalen Brunson or someone else found him rolling to the paint. So I would just say try to focus more on those type of actions rather than the 3-pointers because that's what the defense is like. They want you to take, and at this point, just chill on them because you make them when you need to, but right now, just get to the paint, get those easier baskets at this moment.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get mad at him for taking 7 threes tonight. Again, he was on a heater the last couple of games. Um, I like the fact that he basically abandoned it. I want to say midway in the second half, really, he wasn't really taking a lot of threes. I appreciate to check that real quick, but like he took 2 threes in the second half. Yeah, 2 threes
Yeah,
in the second
that
half.
was within like the first like 3 minutes of the third quarter, and
Yeah,
after that he stopped.
yeah, and I feel like I can check the first quarter real quick too. Yeah, in the first quarter he took 3 threes, and in the second quarter he took 2. So like he kind of understood after a while, like, okay, I don't have it tonight. I'm just gonna get to my spots inside the arc, and he did that really well. 8 of 11 from 2 point range. Again, it's what you want to see. The fact that he was able to pull up 21 points on 18 shots with missing 7 threes means that he was able to do his damage inside the paint. He got to the line. He hit his shot inside the arc. Again, another strong game from the mid three in terms of inside the arc efficiency. He finished 7 of 7 at the rim. That is a good night for Julius. When you're finishing 7 of 7 at the rim, that's a good night. So can't complain about that. I feel like he was able to play within himself within the offense, and he was still able to do the things that he does. So I'm not too upset. I'm not too upset about his performance, even though the 7 threes missed is a little rough. But ultimately, he was able to do what he needed to do for the offense, and I expect him to rebound with threes. I don't expect him to go 0 for 7 again.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was okay with his performance. I didn't have that many angry tweets about him. I think the only angry tweet that I had um, was he took a contested mid post ISO in the fourth quarter when the lead was going down, which I really didn't think was the best shot at that moment because I think it was helping fuel because right after he missed it, Hartenstein tried to go over the back on Burks, and then that led to more free throws, cutting the lead down even more. So I just thought it was just like I thought it was gonna start a snowball of like bad like trips for the Knicks, and the Pistons end up cutting the lead down even further because we've seen this story so many times with the Knicks. It's like you're just hoping that the inevitable doesn't happen there. But I did like I would say I did like the extra pass he had at the end of the first half. He had an open three. He didn't take it, thankfully, and he passed it to RJ, who had a better shot and who had it going from three tonight.
Yeah,
And he got him that basket, and I thought that helped RJ keep rolling. So commendable move number 30.
you could say his name, bro.
No,
If I could apologize to RJ Barrett, you can say the man's name.
it's not the same level. Not the
For,
same level.
dude, you are a hater first.
Not the same level. Um, but yeah, going back to the game, I'd even mention Hartenstein was in the starting lineup. Dibs did another change. It seems like the starting lineup's going to be fluid now, I guess, with certain players. I guess we know the mainstays and who's fluid to move around at this point. Hartenstein started. Sims kind of struggled. I feel like he's not really ready to be the starter yet. I don't think. He's
Yeah,
like you can play him in like spot minutes here and there, like he did tonight. But like having him start games, I don't think that really is the best thing right now. I think Hartenstein fits better. He's more seasoned as a player. So yeah, I didn't have a problem with that move right there. Grimes got some run today.
yeah,
Had a
and he played
nice
well.
Yeah, he had a nice drive. I thought he played some pretty decent defense, and he hit a three. So he definitely looks healthier now. He looks healthier. Maybe the foot just needed an extra couple days of rest. But yeah, he definitely looks healthier now. You're hoping that, he eventually takes all of Evan Fournier's 11 minutes that he played tonight, because Evan Fournier just didn't need to play tonight. Like, holy shit. I was just like, wow. Like when and the man, I guess we'll get into this as comments roll in, because they'll probably reference this. But there was a stretch in the game where two players on the court did not need to be on the court at the same time. But before we get into comments and before we do everyone's favorite part, again, around the 7-minute mark of the second quarter, there was a new lineup presented to us on the court. It was Obi and Randall, but it was surrounded by Grimes, RJ, and Brunson. I thought they looked okay. It was an okay look, but it's gonna take some time for that unit to like get some cohesion, as most of the units on the Knicks need some time to get cohesion. But I thought it was just really interesting to see Thibodeau actually try something that fans probably have been wanting for like as long as we've been
That
asking for this stuff.
that feels like a closing lineup that they're probably going to go to late in the season,
I hope so.
because I think Grimes will probably be starting. Like, I want to say Grimes will be starting by like December.
I
Because
hope
like, I
so.
think I think he's starting by December, and I think Cam is probably going to be backing him up or backing up RJ, because RJ's been playing like a lot of minutes because we don't have a backup wing. Um, but yeah, I think that's a lineup that they're probably going to go to a lot, and this is the first time they get to see it because Grimes is the first time being healthy. But yeah, Grimes played well. I did like that drive that he took. Um, I was a big fan of that drive because I'm like, if he can do that consistently, especially in this lineup where he's going to need to do a lot of attacking closeouts, that makes it that's a lot of promise for somebody in that lineup. Like, especially when you have Mitch coming back, hopefully. So like being able to just like kick out to Mitch or like dump it off to Mitch, or even kick out to like a shooter in the corner, being able to do that as like your fourth option essentially on offense, that's really powerful. It's very potent. But yeah, and the fact that Quentin Grimes is the only situational person in Tom Thibodeau's lifetime who actually got minutes kind of shows you that yeah, but they want to play him. Like, clearly he isn't situational for the sake of being situational. He's situational because he needs to get his minutes and he needs to get his run back. So yeah, I could definitely see him getting a little like going from like 8 minutes to maybe like 12 to 15, and then like maybe starting or like getting solid rotation minutes and just at every 4 days just like not playing, or Derrick Rose just not playing.
Yeah. I'd be an advocate for both of them not playing. But yeah, I thought that lineup really presented something because it provided like the essential spacing that you kind of want in the modern NBA. Especially the way Obi's been playing lately, it just like opens up the floor so much for like whenever someone's open, they can just want to get drive into the paint off of a closeout. The paint is wide open because there's so many players available on the perimeter. You have Obi, you have Randall, who I don't want taking threes, but he can attack closeouts easier in that lineup because the paint is wide open. You have pick and roll opportunities, pick and pop opportunities. You just have so many things that you can try with that lineup. And like you can mix and match players out of that lineup. You could put Cam, you could put IQ, you can swap out so many different players in that type of lineup. But the main thing that you want to have with an Obi Randall lineup is perimeter defenders that will be able to stop that dribble penetration, so that way that rim protection isn't an issue. But yeah, before we get into comments, everyone's favorite part of these streams, and if you're listening to the audio version, I bet you just like skip right over this part. Shout out to you. But yeah, the NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball is back, so tip off the season with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Check this out. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place a stepped up same game parlay today. With payouts bigger than ever, DraftKings Sportsbook is where I go to bet on the NBA. Man, I am so sorry. I hope no one took my bet that I gave out last time because that was horrible. I said take Luka's overs. Luka struggled and the Mavericks lost. Holy cow. Oh man. Um I don't want to give out anything for tomorrow because I don't want to be responsible for people losing money. So, the one game I do like though, Bradley Beal is going to be out tomorrow. Kyle Kuzma does play well when Bradley Beal is out. I will say that they're playing against the Jazz. You know who's been playing well for the Jazz if you've been paying attention to NBA basketball. So do with that information as you will. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TBPN as you see in the corner of your screen. Make any $5 bet this week and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code TBPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes or show description for details. All right.
Am I free?
Huh? Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
All right. Let's get to some comments. Brian Benjamin, who's always here during the games and comments. Shout out to him. I will read one of his comments to get us started. Obi may have only 5 points, but watching him play, I think he's operating at a way higher level than anyone on the team. Also, is RJ the best lob passer on the team? He's one
First
of the
question,
best.
I think it's probably quickly.
Yes.
It's quickly. But RJ probably like second.
Yeah, I said yeah. Yeah, he's like one of the best. Yeah, he
I
has some
think
really good lobs.
as for the Obi point, nah, because Brunson has been like on like I don't think people are realizing what Brunson's doing, and he has his faults, especially like being able to just coast through games. But Brunson is literally giving you like 20 and 7 on like 60 true shooting almost. It is absolutely nuts what Brunson is doing so far. And the part about it is like it's sustainable because this is what he's done his entire career. He's just getting more shots to do it with. Like Brunson is easily an all-star in this league right now. So like, yeah, I think Brunson is probably playing at the highest level of the team right now because I think he's literally an all-star. And I don't
Obi's
really.
not Obi's not too far behind though, I would
Yeah,
say. I would add that.
I absolutely think Obi's been like really good in the early going so far, but like I just kind of feel like that's discrediting like how good Brunson has been so far.
Definitely. But yeah. And to your other point, RJ, I would say RJ is one of the best lob passers. I would say Emmanuel is probably better at it than him because I think Obi IQ's just had more experience playing with someone like Obi. So he's been able to just work on that consistently over the years. All right, let's go. Ace Bouchard says, "Where is Tyrese's Randall Jersey?"
It's in the closet.
All right, there's the answer to that. ZMP323 says RJ and Brunson have seemed to have developed some nice chemistry. There was this one play I really liked that everyone probably loves, but I do want to highlight it. It's where Jalen Brunson drove to the paint, I think, and then he kicked it out to RJ, who's in the corner. RJ drove towards the paint, kicked it back over his head to JB. JB hit the three. But yeah, that's just some great synergy. You know, as the year goes on, you're just hoping that this develops even further, which most likely it will, because those two are two players with some really high feel. I think when it comes to getting in, when they get in rhythm, but especially Jalen Brunson. So yeah, I think they'll definitely be able to gain some more of that chemistry, and we'll see more plays like that happen more naturally.
Yep, I agree. I have liked I think they struggled with chemistry early in the season, but I feel like the mid three as a whole has been like really synergistic lately. I think there was that one play where like RJ and Julius are running the break after like a turnover, and like RJ able to pass it to Julius. And we saw like in the Minnesota game where like Julius like is like heads up and was able to like find use RJ passing to like get camera shots. So I feel like all of them are like finding opportunities to get each other involved, which is really nice. So I like the fact that they've been like committed to making this work as much as possible. So far so good. The returns on the mid three have been as advertised. Like they're good, but they're mid.
Yeah, as long as we don't get as many games against the Nets as we did, then we'll see how things go. Menno says that apology was character progression right there. Oh man,
that's gonna be clips, dude.
Oh yep, it is. If you are now tuning in, scroll to the beginning of the live stream to see Tyrese's apology to Rowan Alexander Barrett for all the slander. So if you're just now tuning in, because I see there's a bunch of people coming in now. So if you're just now tuning in, just scroll to the beginning of the live stream.
God.
Menno F also says that IQ3 off the RJ drive at the end was big, man. Hopefully it helps. Hopefully it gets him going.
Okay,
man, I cannot speak anymore.
Man, like, bro, I want IQ to be good so bad. I just want him to do good before like January, dude. That's all I want. He plays so well with everybody, and like his offense just dies for like 2 months at a time. It's so frustrating. But then when his offense is clicking, he's on fire and you can't stop him. Like, yeah, like I don't think people understand how good post All-Star break Emmanuel Quickley was. Like he was literally 45, 40, 85. Like, and he was putting up like 15 points and 10 shots a game and getting to the line like 5 times a game. Like, he was really, really good. Like that game against Miami where he basically took over and had 20 points in the fourth quarter. Like, that is what Emmanuel Quickley can do. Like, Emmanuel Quickley is a prime talent in this league. Maybe won't be an all-star, but like the dude can play, and the dude can play really, really well. So like I want to get him going. I want to see Obi get going as well. Usually it's the inverse where like Obi struggles to start the season and Quickley is like having some good games, closing out games, but like it's kind of flipped where Obi's been able to shoot a lot more. And like, speaking of shooting from Obi, like that one play where like he basically just like runs a flare screen and like shoots in the corner because his man was falling asleep, and I'm like, what?
It's like,
and it went in.
Played for like Steve Novak, and it's like Obi Toppin.
Dude, like movement three, relocation threes from Obi Toppin is nuts. And it went in.
I know. It's crazy.
And it was a corner three. You know he'd be shooting like
air balls from there. So that's huge development.
Like Obi Toppin corner three looked like the dude who like competes for like the car doing the half court shot every time. Like it just goes. So like the fact that he's been able to improve on that in the early going in the season is really encouraging. Side note: RJ Barrett is up to 20 points per game in the season. So
nice.
Yeah. He's basically at last season's averages with a better efficiency, and he hasn't even shot the 3 ball yet. So like once his 3 ball picks back up, yeah, solid. Yeah, everybody's just solid on this team. It's really nice. I wish there was a better coach, but we don't have to talk about him today.
No, I will talk about him for another comment though. But when we get there, we'll get there. But yeah, IQ, yes. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of criticism about him on the timeline. I have addressed some of that criticism on the timeline. IQ, the scoring is down. Yes, the scoring is not what we expect it to be going into year 3, especially after how he ended last year. I know it's very frustrating for fans to see him struggle with his shot, especially when, that's what's advertised as the biggest thing with Emmanuel Quickley. But I feel like that also diminishes so much of what he does well. He has one of the team's better rebounders. He's one of the team's better defenders. He's one of the team's better distributors. There's a reason why he finished tonight's game. He was part of the closing lineup, which was JB, IQ, RJ, number 30, and Hartenstein. I feel like, what? Why are you shaking your head?
You can say the man's name.
I'm not. I don't understand what is so hard about that.
Your heart, bro.
But yeah, I will say this. There's a reason why he ended tonight's game. Like he wasn't like dropping like 25 tonight or even 15, which would be a great Emmanuel Quickly game. But the fact that he's able to do all these other things well, and like the fan base just is so like blind to it, is so annoying. Like, yes, the scoring and the shooting percentages is very frustrating, but like you're ignoring all the other things he does well, which is so annoying. And like there's other parts of basketball that contribute to winning, and he does those very well as well. So there's my spiel on Emmanuel Quickly.
Emmanuel Quickly is a good basketball player and is a winning basketball player, and that should be embraced instead of being discredited because he doesn't do the things well enough, yada yada, blah blah blah. Like he's a good player. Embrace that.
Yes. So fan scoring isn't everything. Yes, it is probably the most fun part about Emmanuel Quickly's game, especially when he has it going, but appreciate the other parts of his game too. They're very much important. Jordan Bubb says D Rose and Fournier minutes need to go as soon as Grimes is able to play more minutes. Here we are. Here's the comment that I was waiting for to address Mr. Thomas Thibs. Fourth quarter, there was a point where D Rose and Fournier are on the court at the same time, and I was like, "What are we doing here? Like, is this how we're gonna lose the game? Like, is it gonna be because Thibs just wanted to play those two together?" But yeah, I was not a fan of those two getting minutes together. Definitely would never do that again. And this was against the Pistons. The Pistons against Killian Hayes. Like, come on, Killian Hayes and Alec Burks' revenge game. Alec Iverson, shout out to him.
Yeah,
But
facts. Shout out Alec Burks, by the way.
yeah, he had 17 points tonight. Shout out to him. But yeah, I was just like, what are we doing here against the Pistons? Like, Grimes, you played Grimes in the first half and he looked good. Like, why not just, I know you want to ease him back into his role due to conditioning, all that other stuff, but like having Fournier out there was just like a tire fire. Like, there was a play, I forgot what. I tried to erase all of his memories
I
on
feel
the
like the
court.
player you might be talking about is like when like he gets the steal and or like somebody on the team gets a steal, he goes through the outlet pass and then he throws it back to the Pistons.
Yes, there we go. Thank you.
Like,
My mind erased that from my head because I was just thinking about the two bunnies that he missed early in the game too. So
look, I liked Evan Fournier in 2020. I advocated for signing him. It didn't work out. You gotta. Uh, I feel like you kind of have to cut bait here. It might be time to cut bait. Again, I referenced the fact that San Antonio has like $20 million in cap space that they're doing nothing with. I referenced the fact that you have count them, four additional first round draft picks. You are not going to use all of those picks. I think you can realistically take the Bucks pick, give it to San Antonio, rid yourself of Evan Fournier, and give those minutes to Cam. And I am not Cam fan by any means, but he is better than Evan Fournier. I'm just apologizing for everything tonight. This is really, really, really a lot of character growth for me. I hope you're all proud. But yeah, I think it's time to kind of just.
it's over, Evan. It's
Yeah,
over.
it's. We're getting on to he was a good dude watch.
My guy was brought in to shoot. He can't even shoot.
Yeah, like last year, at least you could say, well, he's a good shooter, a great shooter. Even he was like a top 5 shooter in the league last
Now
year,
it's like
and
my
now he
son
looks
is just like a French dude just running out there in a jersey for free. Like,
like Killian Hayes and Evan Fournier were on the court at the same time, and I swear the entire nation of France just wept. They were just like, "Oh, we," like, oh my, oh, that
it's a
was
bad look for France out there, man. It's a
man.
bad look for
The
France.
Statue of Liberty was like disgusted. Like they saw that shit and they was like, "Really? This was the gift you bring to the Americans?" Like Tony Parker was out here fucking. He would have smacked him in the damn locker room afterwards if he had to see this shit, man. Like this was. Dude, Frederick Weiss would volleyball on them. Like, that's how bad it looked, man. Killian Hayes, dude, Killian even have a family. He needs to be a family man. Like,
He's like 21. I don't think his family is his mom and dad.
well,
Probably
he needs to
that's
start. He needs to
his
start getting
family.
fuck it. Start getting tattoos, bro. You need to get some more shots up in the gym. If you're getting tattoos, bro. Like,
But
spend your VC better.
I think Jordan Bub also addressed this situation, and I think he offered a alternative. He said, "Why don't play Cam or RJ, or Cam for RJ instead of Fournier, who's playing like a guy who just doing cardio runs? Who I just said French guy doing runs out there for free, because Cam was showing you a little something in the third quarter. Yeah, he had that nice finish in the paint, and he Cam is just like really not trying to get anyone's way, which I'm appreciating. He's not really trying to do too much. Like there was one play. Been a couple plays where Julius has passed the ball to him. I think kind of late on like some finds of the basket, but Cam has done a good job of like bringing it out instead of like trying to force it up, which I think he would have done previously. But he's been doing a pretty good job of like being patient with the ball, trying to like not force anything, which is very much appreciated. But yeah, I mean, he Cam is at least providing like something on the defensive end if he's not doing anything offensively spectacular, in terms of like hitting threes, which not a lot of Knicks could hit threes tonight. So not really
Yeah.
gonna hold that to him in that regard, but he was playing some defense. So anything is better than what Fournier is doing out there. I will say that.
He's mid, but he still deserves minutes over Fournier.
Yeah. Taz says, I have no faith in the Obi Randall lineup with Randall in drop. Could switch or use their speed to trap or hedge hard, but nope. Thibs only plays one way. Yes,
Respect, man. Respect.
another comment addressing the Thibs portion of tonight. Because although we won, there are some things that are still concerning for the long term. Because as long as this guy is here, certain things are just going to continue as is because that's just the way the guy is. But yeah, I think when we play with the Obi Randall lineup, especially when you have capable defenders like RJ or Cam or Grimes or IQ in, if you have any of those four in with those two, I think you can switch perfectly fine and the defense will not really struggle. We've also seen that Randall and Obi have looked pretty decent on the perimeter. They're quick on their feet. Obi has gotten better. Randall has been consistently one of the players that's been good switching onto smaller players. So I don't really see a reason for us not to do it because the personnel is capable. It's not like they're incapable of doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. We won, but I'm still kind of like we were in a dogfight with the Pistons. So like,
Yeah, I mean they started to come back. The lead was cut almost to 5 at one
without
point.
Cade Cunningham, mind you, if Cade Cunningham's in this game, we probably lose it, which isn't good.
If he has it going, because he's been having some rough patches.
True. Like Bogdan Bogdanovic won us up, bro. Like how I see is Stewart getting his game off.
Livers,
Yeah,
livers,
Livers came through late.
livers started lining us up late in that game.
I think Livers had all of his points in the fourth quarter. Yeah, all of his points were in the fourth quarter for Livers. And Alec Burks was big money AB, giving us buckets, consistent, solid. Once a Nick, always a Nick.
If we had
One of the
lost on the backs of an Alec Burks revenge game, oh my
man,
gosh!
look,
In
man,
his first game of the season, that would have been hilarious.
shit,
Thibs would have to get fired immediately after the game because you are the reason. Because Thibs would be Thibs is like partially the reason why we traded AB because he utilized him the wrong way and was just like, you know what, we don't need him.
Give me Alec Burks back. I don't know, man. I need that in the Garden once again, dude. I'll take him back. Get whatever they want. Like what Burks just yeah, I know. I agree.
Burks should still be here, not the French scrub. Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Man, imagine like just trade Derrick Rose or Alec Burks, bro. Send the Euros back to Detroit. I know he get a place down there.
Yeah.
You get to mentor Cade Cunningham. Wear his dashiki hat or whatever the hell he wearing on his head. His little, I don't know, but like, yeah, his little fez. It's a fez. There we go. Yeah, give me big money, AB.
ZMP323 says RJ is up to 54% true shooting now.
Yep. I think Julius is at 57. I think Brunson is at. Brunson might be at 60. I
Yeah, I was
could
about
go.
to say, isn't Brunson at like 60 or close to 60 at
He was
least?
he was close to 60, and then the next game happened, and now he's back to 58. Okay, he's back to 58. So yeah, he's basically added like what he was last year in terms of like efficiency, which is nuts to think about.
With
And
more usage, right?
his usage has actually been that much higher. Like his
Okay,
usage,
that's interesting.
so like his usage in Dallas was 21.5, and his usage in New York is 22.7.
I wonder if it's also because like we do see some games where RJ gets more usage. We see some games where 30 gets more usage. So I wonder if that's contributing to that.
I'm telling you, man. By the end of the season, you're at least gonna say his name in full once.
No,
Once.
no.
Once.
Um. So
But
what
yeah,
else? What other comments we have
but like
here?
54 true shooting without hitting his threes. That's good. That's very good. So
Very encouraging because
once
once the
he
three start hitting,
Jalen Brunson too. Jalen Brunson's only shooting 30.6% from three, and he's getting to the line 4.5 times a game, which is really nice. Like man, I really can't speak enough about JB because he's just so solid. And like he doesn't take shots either, which is the thing. Like he's only taking 15 shots a game. Imagine if JB took like 17, 18 shots. And like he took more than 4 threes a game. If he took like 6 or 7 threes a game and like 18 shots a game, man, like he'd be ridiculous. But we'll take it. We'll take what we get. Not complaining. He's good.
will not complain.
I'm not complaining about good
Uh,
point guard play because I need that.
yep, because we
It's
have
been
been
rough.
lacking it for too many years.
It's been rough out here. It's been a struggle.
Jordan Bub, Obi is showing us more out of his bag each game, from pull-up midi to off-ball cut to corner for wide open three. And if Obi has decent pull-up game and become a good movement shooter, how will you stop him? I mean, yeah, he's showing. I like that he's showing us a little more each and every time. That pull-up midi really caught me by surprise because I was
Yeah,
like,
that came out of
whoa.
nowhere too.
I was like, whoa. But yeah, it's just very encouraging to see him, he the thing that's most important about these attempts and at least him making it now is confidence, because I feel like that's something that he didn't have the first half of last season, and most of his rookie year. He just didn't have any confidence. Um, but yeah, he's showing the confidence now that he's willing to take these shots and he's making them. So it's very encouraging. I mean, he's doing it all in limited time too. And what's also encouraging about him making it is that it's forcing Thibs to play the Obi Randall lineup more and experiment with more variations of that lineup. So that's the best thing about him hitting his shots right now.
Yep. Him being able to shoot and be a credible floor spacer opens up the ceiling for this team immensely because then you could do 3 big lineups. You can run small ball lineups. You can run like micro ball lineups if you wanted to. If you wanted to do something like IQ, Grimes, RJ, Obi, Randall, like you can run things with him at the 4 and the 5, even successes with him in the 3. It just makes him a better player to use from this team.
And I think Thibs even used Obi at the 3 in the Nets game, I believe. But we didn't even talk about it because there was just so much other bullshit to get to. But yeah, he tried Obi at the 3 in that game, and like people mentioned it in the comments, and I like scrolled past because like I'm not bringing up anything like positive right now. Like fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, he did try that, which was also, I think he tried it in that game and he tried it in another game. So Obi at the 3 has been something that Dibs has been willing to try. He's been willing to experiment more this year, but he still has his things that he still needs to clean up, which is a lot of other stuff. But it is encouraging to see him test out these lineups that we have been literally screaming at the top of our lungs for on Twitter. Let's see. All right, hold up. I'm about to sneeze. Holy shit. Never mind. It's gone. Meadow F says, y'all think we beat OKC next game? They just smacked Toronto without Pascal.
Don't ask me about that game.
I will say this: OKC, they have been a pretty. I'd say they've been a pretty decent, pretty okay, good team this year.
They've been okay. See,
yeah, they've been OKC. Yes,
that was a banger. That's a banger. That's a banger.
No.
Chat. Tell me that's not a banger. That's a banger. Come on, hype me up. Thank you. Anyway, yeah. Van Vliet sucks. So like, I don't. And OG.
But no, I mean, Shea has been like ridiculous to start this year. I gotta check the box score to see how much he had tonight.
20. He had 24 and 3.
Okay.
What happened was Eugene Omarui lit them up for 22 points on 8 of 10 shooting and 5 of 6 from 3.
Isn't that the dude that was from Oregon? I think he's from Oregon.
I have no idea where he's from, bro.
He went to Oregon. He went to Oregon. I remember watching him in a March Madness game.
Yeah, but
he went to Oregon.
He lit them up.
I didn't know he was a 3-point shooter. What the hell? He played like a small big man in Oregon.
Shooter.
He's not.
He's not.
Yeah, because I remember in Oregon he used to. So we got to look out for dudes like him against us.
Like in the games that he played, he hit 1 of 3, and then this game he just straight up went off.
Wow. Okay. That's the BS that would happen against
his number is 97. He has the creative player number, bro. Like,
oh my gosh.
dog. This team isn't real. This team is not real. It wasn't even a Shea game. If it was a Shea game, I'd be like, all right, I get it.
Yeah, it was like a pretty all around game for them, but I mean,
they also shot 42% from 3. So like,
yeah,
the game is fake.
Well, against us, that type of stuff can happen. It has happened before. 42% shooting night is not crazy. I mean, tonight we played the Pistons, so it wasn't a crazy 3-point shooting night. But against OKC, if they really like dig into that driving kick stuff that has been working against us, and they have more capable shooters, I believe. Not really that scared of Actually, I'm not even sure who their shooters are, honestly.
They don't got no shooters.
But like, see, that's the thing. That's the type of they're the type of team that would still like go off against us.
If Lou Dort lights us up, man, I don't know what to, like. Lou Dort is shooting.
Careful what you wish. Careful what you wish.
24% for 3. If Lou Dort lights us up, then this team deserves every bit of slander they get on Sunday. Like, if I gotta watch an 11 a.m. game, because I'm an hour behind, mind you, I have to watch an 11 a.m. game, hammered out of my mind, off a hangover, and Lou Dort's lighting us up, then I'm literally going to be eclectic. Like, I'm going to be so
I mean, we had Edmund Sumner just like light us up the other day. Nothing is impossible. Man. Nothing is impossible versus the Knicks, bro.
Damn, you're right, dude.
I'm just saying. Don't
Isaiah Livers is gonna be playing in Turkey in 2 years, and he really gave us 11 points in the fourth quarter. What am I even saying, dude? Like, Trey Mann is gonna get his off, and I'm just gonna be pissed.
I mean, didn't he get his shit off of the last time we played against them in MSG?
Yeah, that's why we gave him his best game as a pro.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, folks.
Josh Giddey had a triple-double.
They beat us in overtime.
Oh, God, Pokushev, he's going to give us like 30. Oh, God.
All right, JL says, when the Pistons got to down a 6-point game, in the fourth, I saw visions of Johnny Bryant coaching. LOL, too bad Brunson didn't allow that to happen.
bro, Sims needs to give like Brunson all of his game checks. Because Brunson is single-handedly like Brunson, it's like a lesser extent RJ and Julius are saving his job. Like Tom Thibodeau would not be employed right now if Jalen Brunson was on this team. Like Jalen Brunson is literally just going, all right, dude, I'm gonna give you like 65 true shooting nights, give you like 20 and 7, and you're gonna be employed because my dad knows you and has been like my agent has known you since I was like 3. Like Jalen Brunson is single handedly going to keep this team afloat and keep his job. It's nasty. It's
Man,
nasty. I'm telling. Oh man, it's
I
nasty.
saw visions of the notification on my phone that said Tom Thibodeau has been released of his duties, but again, like you said, Jalen Brunson did not allow that to happen. So we live to have Thibs another day, unfortunately. Um, all right, we got bots in the chat now. Ooh, we've made it to this point in our
Turn
YouTube
up.
careers now. We
Turn
got
up.
bots in the chat. But shout out
Yeah.
to
Shout out to all the bots.
Jay also says, don't care about the OKC game. I need a big performance from RJ in the Jazz game. Oh, yeah. The Jazz game. Man, Donovan Mitchell, he's like annoyingly keeps bringing up like how he was almost traded to the Knicks.
He wanted to be a Knick. Like this is not the way of him saying, yeah, I wanted to be a Knick. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a Knick. He wants to be a Knick. He's
Well,
pissed
he's
he's not a Knick
not,
right now.
so he needs to like get over it because
Dude,
like
I've never seen
even
somebody.
Cavs fans are like, yo, can he like shut up? It's like it's so annoying.
Dude, I'm telling you, like if he didn't get traded, it's like literally the perfect situation in terms of like cap space, owner, and like young talent on the team. Swear to God, he would have been a Knick in 3 years. But like now he's gonna get that nice, calm little super max, and he's gonna be chilling in the land for the rest of his career. But like, dude wanted to be a Knick, bad, like bad. Dude
Well,
was talking about building houses here. He already spent all his time here anyway. He's a rabid ass Mets fan. Like, of course he
well,
wants to be a Knick.
he's not. So all parties need to move on, including Mr. Mitchell himself. But yeah, I do need RJ to go off in that Jazz game because Jazz fans are very much obsessed with us.
Oh, it's
Even
been nasty,
even
bro. Out of nowhere too, just because of the Dan Trey rumors. They've been like, oh, the Jazz.
they're like, oh, thank you, Cleveland, for sending us Larry Markkinen, who's so much better than like RJ and all the Knicks players. It's like, all right, relax.
I mean,
Like,
this season they got an argument, but like,
yeah, but like, let's
it's unfortunate.
just wait for the season to even out. This is some early season.
Listen,
They high off the early season vibes. I know how that feels. I was high off the early season vibes last year. I know how it feels.
Laurie Marketing is a damn merchant, and he will come back to earth very, very quickly. I don't care.
The
And I
Mickey
am a
Mouse,
hater for saying
the
this.
Mickey Mouse, the Mickey Mouse season will die down. It will die down.
The Julius 2020, DeRozan 2021, Laurie Marketing will wear off soon. Big trust.
Yeah. I mean, Jazz fans, they're not as prevalent, so it's like it doesn't bother me that much. It doesn't bother me as much as OKC fans pretending that their team is not tanking.
Well, yeah, because the Jazz fans are fucking their cousin right now. So like, hey.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That one's for Spencer Keel. Anyway,
oh my gosh.
Jazz fans in my mentions, oh no, the damn Mormons are gonna come. Oh, I'm so scared. God country. Oh.
But Jordan Bob brings up a good point in this question. He says, how does Thibs slow down SGA? Well,
maple syrup on the ground because he's Canadian.
I know that I know that SGA has been making a living off of drives to the paint. So it's going to be interesting to see how we stop the paint advances by Shea. He's not someone that's going to really kill us from three, which is something that really bothers. But his driving ability may open up the 3-point opportunities for other people on the team. Whoever the personnel may be out there for OKC. I'm not really familiar with their personnel all too much. I know Lou Dort is someone that was really good from three tonight, but like you mentioned, he's not been good on the season, which is always a prime candidate for someone to go off against us. Trey Mann took 10 threes tonight, only hit 3, due for a good game after a shitter like that. So, and he's someone that went off against us last time. So again, just something to watch out for. But yeah, I think Shea's gonna use those drives to open up the 3-point game for his teammates. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to see how Thibs approaches that. Who he throws on Shea. He might throw RJ on him. Because Shea isn't the fastest guard, which would be to RJ's advantage because he doesn't play that well when he's guarding someone that is much quicker than him. So I think having him on Shea would be good. But yeah.
I agree. I think that you can use RJ's advantage against Shea. Then yeah, I don't want to see him in foul trouble. So it is a your mileage may vary situation, but yeah, I just don't want the damn OKC scrubs to light us up, bro. Like if Shea gives us 50, whatever. Shea gave us 50. But if the damn OKC team is just gonna shoot like lights out from three, and then Lou Dort's gonna find himself, and like whatever, Josh Giddey will like purify himself on the fucking Lake of Minnetonka, I'm gonna be heated. That's what I don't want to happen. That's all I want. Just don't give me OKC scrubs light us up. That's all I want.
Um. Yeah. I mean, I'm not. Yeah. I mean, I just don't want OKC to beat us in general, because like, I just don't need their fans bringing up that tweet from last year. Um. But yeah.
You know they got to save too. If they don't bring it up, I'll bring it up. That's cool.
Oh my gosh. Literally had like so many private accounts tweeting the account for no
Oh,
reason.
it was busting your ass too. I never seen a concerted effort against one fan outside of the fan base. They took that shit personal too.
Like they legitimately were tanking last year. That was not even a dispute, and they had the nerve to be upset at me. And I called them out on it before they sent Shea and Lou Dort and like all their players home. Like, whatever.
Jakar Sampson was getting minutes for that team, bro. And you don't know who Jakar Sampson is. He's the dude who's like 6 foot doing the hook shot. Jakar Sampson's not an NBA
You mean
player.
Xavier Simpson?
Whatever. Anyway. See, I
But
don't
yeah,
even
they were
know
giving
that
him.
name. Like,
Yeah, they were giving him minutes, and that dude is probably overseas hooping right now. But yeah,
he's hook shotting his way through life. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know his damn name. How many people you know on the OKC roster? Exactly. Shea, shit. That's it. Oh, Giddey, Lou Dort,
Dort and Trey Mann, if
Trey
you're like
Mann.
really into the NBA like that.
Yeah, you gotta be a damn nerd to know the OKC roster for me to say some shit like fucking, oh, Kenrick Williams. Like,
But we are nerds, so we do know OKC's roster.
unfortunately. I'm not proud about that fact. I really am not proud about that fact. I can be like, oh yeah, they got Mike Muscala. He hot. Like,
Oh man, imagine Mike Muscala killing us from three. Oh man,
son.
that would be rough.
Okay, the worst person that could kill some three would be Poku. By far, it would be Poku, because Poku is ass. And as somebody who like vouched for Poku during that pandemic, because the pandemic fried all of our brains, like, son, if Poku Shefsy wets us up and gives us buckets, I'm not doing a post game anymore. I'm dropping. I will literally drop from post game, because at that point, that I can't show my face anymore.
Oh my gosh, I think we'll be good on Poku. I think he'll have an okay game. I don't think he'll kill us.
I pray.
But yeah, I think that's all we got for today. You know, Knicks win. It's always a good night when the Knicks win. Does not take away from all the previous things that we discussed on the Nets post game, which are still issues that can always rear its ugly head. But yeah, it was nice to see a Knicks win. It was nice to see RJ drop 30. You know, you're just hoping that we continue this consistent effort that we showcase against bad teams. It's funny. We play like, I think we are like, I want to say 6-0 versus no, we're 6-1 versus below 500 teams. The Nets. We are like 0-5 versus teams above 500. It would be nice to, beat some good teams soon, hopefully. Like, I just don't want this to be the year that we are just like it. We are probably gonna. It's probably is gonna be the year that we are just completely mid. But it would be nice to like not be that, and get some quality wins versus some tougher opponents, and for our players to play well against those tougher opponents, because it just shows that our players are progressing and are getting better. But we will see. It was nice to get this win. Detroit did make us fight for it. Respect to them for that. We'll be back after the OKC game. Hopefully, there's more positives to talk about that game than negatives. Check out everything Stricken related in the description. We got links to the site, merch, Patreon, and Twitter. All great ways to support us. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. We are on our way to 1K subs. It helps us out a ton if you do that. And we will catch you guys after the OKC game. Peace.